Hello, everyone, and welcome to a beautiful episode of Tea with Trena. I'm excited to be on with you today and to be joined by Dr. Tangie McDougald. It is so good to see you, Tangie. Thank you for joining us here.
Thank you for having me this morning.
I'm super excited for our conversation. We're going to be taking a little bit of time today to talk to you about the power of influence. But before we get into that, I want to share with you what I'm having for tea. I'm having peppermint tea this morning. And Tangie, what are you having?
I'm having black tea this morning.
Mm, how beautiful! How beautiful! I just have to share this briefly. I was out and about earlier today with my mother-in-law, and we stopped to get a bite to eat at a place. And after our meal, they brought us black tea. Surprise! It was such a beautiful surprise, and we got to sit there and enjoy a little bit of extra time with that black tea. So um, beautiful having that black tea. Absolutely love it. And I want to take a moment to introduce Dr. Tangie McDougald. And I just want to first say that you all will be able to see this in our time together. But Dr. Tangie is absolutely phenomenal. And just a beautiful person, beautiful soul, and does great work within her community, with the organizations that she is a part of, and the businesses that she runs. And so I'm super excited to have you on. And I want to take a moment to introduce you. Dr. Tangie McDougald has an honorary doctorate in Christian leadership, is a certified trauma-informed cognitive behavioral therapist. And Dr. Tangie has her own organization that she founded in 1997, which is a mental health care organization called Community Matters. And she also has this practice. It's a group practice that serves both children and adults. And I'm so excited to have you here, Dr. Tangie. Thank you for being here. And thank you so much for the work that you do.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And so I want to take a time and go ahead and jump into this because we said we were going to come on and talk about the power of influence. And I see you as a beautiful, influential person. And so I want to chat with you a little bit about that and connect with the audience. And I want to invite those of you who are tuning in. If you're here live, welcome. It's so good to see you. Please share the room out. And if you have comments, be sure to drop them in the comment section. I'll take a look at them as we're doing this conversation. And Dr. Tangie, I want to ask you, what is influence? What does influence really mean to you?
Influence is such a huge word. It's such a broad word because it means so much.
Mhm.
For me, it refers to the ability to affect or shape someone's thoughts, their behaviors, decisions that are made, opinions that are assumed. Um, I want to say that it gives a capacity to have an impact or influence, right? An impact
Mm.
on people's actions or their belief system. Um, there's some persuasion that is included, some guidance, some
Mhm.
inspiration. Um, Influence is huge and it manifests over several different spectrums, whether it's just your social interactions, whether it's in leadership, I can think of marketing, and in business in whole. So in all aspects of life, the power of influence is instrumental.
Mhm. In all areas of life, the power of influence and it is influential, is instrumental. And I think about that in the way we come into contact with other people, right? We're daily, creating and making decisions. We're surrounded by community. What makes influence impactful or important when you're engaged within a community as well?
When you're engaged, well, if you're looking to be influential, right, you
Hmm.
want to make sure that when you're engaged in the community, that you're setting the right tone of whatever it is that you're in agreement with it, within whatever your belief system is. And so it's important to know where you are or who you are as a person, so that when you are creating this influence per se, that you're in alignment with your morals and your belief system.
I think that's really important when you talk about being in alignment with your belief system. because they're a set of values, they're a set of beliefs, they're a set of um, there's another word that I'm looking for, but there's values, beliefs, and we create systems for our lives or engagements based on that. And I think it's really important to be in alignment with that, and within community, to be in alignment with community when you're thinking about the influence that you want to have or impact in people's lives. And I think about this in a positive way, right? So I'm thinking about positive influence, right? Of being able to share and build together at times, and moving through. And so I want to know from you, what do you think about positive influence? And what do you think about that as far as being in alignment with community?
Hmm. I think that you need it, right, to be in alignment. I think that it creates a healthy component in the relationship building that you're giving or doing. Um, it also helps promote personal growth. So I think it strengthens a community. Definitely, communities thrive when there's a positive influence is prevalent versus a negative influence, right?
Mhm,
I think that if it's not aligned, then that there's a level of um, incongruence that occur. Your messaging
mhm,
is saying one thing, but your action is saying something different. And so that growth, it stagnates that growth if it's unclear. Um,
mhm,
so you definitely, I think it's important to create and promote healthy relationships and in encouraging the personal growth. In order to personally grow, you have to have a positive contribution or aspect or influence within your community. Culturally, I can think of work, just creating a positive workplace,
mhm,
right? The influence, me showing up as a leader every day. I want to exude that energy,
mhm,
and in order for me to exude that energy and have a healthy workplace, I need to be in alignment with myself and knowing what it is in my belief system and my value system to create the culture, right?
mhm,
That I'm
mhm,
looking to bring forward amongst the employees. And so that's important to me and something that I am very so much aware of the way I show up and present as a
mhm.
leader.
Mhm. I like what you shared about that, because when you're bringing it to the workplace and being a leader and stepping into that, you're cultivating an exchange and
Mhm.
having that influence be positive and representative of your value system and your beliefs within a culture, within a company, I think is essential. And so I love what you shared about that and how you show up and having positive ways of impacting people's lives in that way. Because not only are you impacting, when you think about work culture, you are impacting a community, because what that organization or work does within a space goes out to the surrounding community, goes out to how people engage, maybe moving through the hallways, yes, but also taking that home, right? There were some things that when I was working and training, that I picked up in training on the job, that could impact me to do things better at home as well, right?
Absolutely.
Um, did you have anything else you wanted to share about that?
When you spoke upon that, immediately I thought about not only though cultivating that energy amongst staff, but I think about the people that entrust our businesses,
Hmm.
whether we're coaching or we're doing one-on-one services. We're service providers. I think that the positive influence, it builds trust.
Yeah,
And with that trust becomes the credibility that we need as influencers.
yeah.
So once we're able to build the trustworthy relationship, the information and guidance, the viability is there. And
Hmm.
so without that, I think there's, heavy turnover, low retention and things like that that could
Hmm.
negatively impact. Um, and I also believe that as a leader, if you have positive influence, then you're more than likely to get more done
Hmm.
because people are more likely to follow you
Hmm.
and believe, that belief system is so strong that
Hmm.
it drives, if you're looking to create social change like I am, that it
Right.
drives that social change. They're ready to go to work for you, go to bat for you.
Definitely. And that's important, going to bat for you, thriving,
Yes.
engaging in social change, impacting people in positive ways and having positive shifts, being a leader, being a role model. So my question, I want to ask this question because my next question was, when does influence become powerful? And you gave us a little bit about that when you with your gesture. And I'm wondering if you can take that a little bit further for us when you think about when it does become powerful, what does that look like?
Um, it depends on what your mission is,
Mhm,
right? And so I think that influence, well, it becomes powerful when people start to believe in you. When you have set the tone of consistency and the trustworthiness that you need in order to build the alignment, and now you can create the goals, the vision, the dreams, the aspirations that you have to move forward and create longevity in doing
mhm,
so. So
mhm,
I think when people start to take action
mhm,
and follow your lead with the
mhm,
vision that you have and the goal that you have, when
mhm.
that all starts to fall into play, baby, you're unstoppable.
Love
You're
it.
unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Yeah.
And your community becomes, that shift in community changes. They're
Mhm,
no longer your fans, they're
mhm.
your tribe,
Yeah,
right? They become
yeah,
your tribe. So
definitely.
it's a good
I
feeling.
absolutely love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
And I just wanna say, what would you share with someone? This would be, maybe our closing questions. I haven't even checked the comments, you all. If you had questions, maybe we'll come back and check them online. I've been just, like, here with you, Tangie. I wanna ask you, what would you say to another person who wants to step into leadership and influence others in other people's lives? What would you share with them?
First, become clear in what your messaging is,
Mhm,
because you don't want to start to influence people and not be clear, because that makes them unclear, and then that you lose that trust. So
mhm,
become clear on your vision, what your messages is, who is your target audience. You're going to hear that often, no,
mhm,
no matter where you go in leadership. Who is your target audience, and what
mhm,
is your goal and outcome that you desire? And
mhm,
once you become clear with that, then you want to pave the way with setting that in stone, setting your vision in stone and moving toward that, setting things and goals in place that will get you there. So
yes,
having a plan,
having a plan.
having
Yeah,
a plan.
getting clear, having a vision, knowing
And
who you're talking to, having a plan.
and if I could be honest, you could have all those things and
Mhm,
still not know how to move forward in your
mhm,
leadership.
mhm.
And this is where I say, don't be afraid to invest.
Right,
You need a coach. Coaches need coaches too.
right,
We need guidance. You need a
right.
coach. If you are lost, don't stay stuck in it. If you have a plan and you have a clear plan, but you're stuck strategically on how
Mhm,
to move within that plan, how to implement, then you need
mhm.
to reach out to someone that you see that is doing all the things.
Yes, and
Absolutely.
connect and take action. Thank you
Absolutely.
for that. I really appreciate that.
You're
Now,
welcome.
Dr. Tangi, you're hosting the Ultimate Therapist Summit. Do you wanna share a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. That's my baby. I am so excited to be doing the summit live this year. The
Mhm,
Ultimate Therapist Business Summit is a summit that we as therapists are in need of, because we walk away with our schooling, with our education, with the academic piece, right, on how
mhm,
to conduct therapy and how to shape and change families,
mhm,
individuals and families. But no one is teaching us the business
mhm,
on how to be successful in business. And so
mhm,
this summit allows therapists to get everything they need to grow and scale their businesses, to
mhm,
move from the clinical chair, if they so desire, into the CEO chair, and do so with a plan that's going to make them successful for
mhm,
longevity. So I'm all about building and changing the stigma with mental health. I think we
mhm,
all are when we all sign up to be professional helpers. But in doing so, this is my way to pay it forward, to give it back to our community so that people of color show up in leadership. I
mhm,
think that the more of us that show up as leaders, and when I say leaders, I mean as CEOs of our own businesses, whether it's a small practice or group practice or even a clinic. Once you show up as leaders and your community see you,
Mhm.
you are already setting that tone of
Mhm.
positive influence that we just discussed today. And
Yeah.
so the summit is going to give you all that and then some. It's a
Mhm.
3-day summit, and it ends on the 4th day with an award ceremony and gala. And so, yes.
Beautiful, and I am sharing the link to sign up for the summit or to get more information. You can go to bit.ly 2023, the Ultimate Therapist Summit, to learn more about the summit that's going to be live in person and with an award ceremony. So,
Absolutely.
therapists who are tuning in, or therapists that you know, or coaches that you know who are in the helping field, please share this link with them for them to sign up for it. And Tamara is on. Good morning, Tamara. It's so good to see you. Let us know in the comment section if you have any questions. We'll be on for just another minute for those of you who are on live. We've had a beautiful conversation about the power of influence. And I really invite folks to check out your summit, the Ultimate Therapist Summit, and be sure to join us here in the future too, when we're going to be sharing more about ways you can step into becoming clear and being the leader that you're here to be.
Absolutely. And the theme of our summit is influence. Actually, it's influence,
Hmm.
inspire, impact. Because
Hmm.
generally, that's what we dream of. We dream of, I want to become a therapist and I just want to influence and move families into better places and create better impact. And what other way to get what you need by showing up for yourself during this summit? And I want to just say, shout out to those who have been nominated as
Yeah.
an ultimate therapist. There's about 20 categories, and each
Hmm.
category represents someone who is out there shining like a
Hmm.
diamond, that have
Hmm.
vested in their community and have made drastic change. So we see you, and this is a week that we celebrate you. So I'm so excited about that.
Absolutely. Absolutely love it. And congratulations to all the nominees. And Dr. Tangi, congratulations to you for creating the Ultimate Therapist Summit, for stepping into your influence and inspiring people and impacting lives and changing lives. You're doing such beautiful work, and I so appreciate you. I love you, and I'm so excited for you and what you're doing out there. And so I'm just wanting to make sure people know about you and know about your work, because you are dynamic and you impact and change lives. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. You know, the feelings are mutual for me. And so this is great. I appreciate you having me. And I hope that whoever's listening or catch this live later, take some nuggets from there and start to apply and move toward their influence.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Dr. Tangi. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you on the next Tea with Trena.